Hey everybody, Mah-Dry-Bread here, and I've got a project that I want to work on, but I need your help. So if you're interested in the game in the title, which is Life is Feudal, then stay tuned and see if this sounds like it's up your alley. I plan to be streaming Life is Feudal and doing some kind of stream series of it. Sometime in the near future, it's gonna have to be after I set up curtains or something, so that I can record more than just, you know, at a really set specific time when you're able to see me properly without it being a solar eclipse or a giant reflection. And plus, I already don't look very well lit right now from the front, which is not great, considering when I'm in that top right little corner during a stream, you won't be able to see me very well. But anyway, I've been playing some Life is Feudal recently, because it recently went on sale, and I found that I really, really like it. It's early alpha, definitely very early alpha. It's still very rough around the edges, although the people who make it are very active with updating it. I've been having a lot of fun with it so far. I've been toying around with trying to set up a dedicated server and stuff. Now, here's the problem, though. I have no one to play it with. I don't know anyone who has the game. Not personally, at least. I looked through the list of people who have me on Steam who own the game and have played it, and there are like three of them, and none of them I recognize. Like, no one I've ever played anything with before. A lot of people have it on their want list, though, but no one that I know personally. So, yeah, it's kind of difficult with that. So I don't really have anyone to test to see if my dedicated server works for anyone else. Like, if I use the create server in-game, I can play it on my own. Don't know if anyone else is able to join that. They probably can through Tungle or something. And when I set up with the dedicated server tools, I use the online tutorial, and yet I can't join my own because weird little errors and stuff. I posted on their forum about it, but haven't heard back yet. So I'd love to find some people to actually play the game with. I think that would be a lot of fun, just playing it on our own server where we all know the password so we can get it prepared for the streams. Basically, I'm looking to get 5 people in. 5 people, not counting myself. Counting myself, it'd be 6 people. And we will probably end up having a lot more than 6 at some point, but I kind of want to have our core group of 6 people, including myself, early on. The reason for 6 is because with the skill progression of this game, there are 5 crafting-related trees that you progress your way through to get to different ranks of different stuff. These things are woodworking. You work in forestry, lumberjacking, making furniture, carpentry, stuff like that. You've got metalworking, which is, of course, mining, smithing, making armor and weapons, stuff like that. Herbology, which would be finding and gathering herbs and I believe small kinds of like food you'd find around forest, berries, mushrooms, and stuff. You would also start learning how to make medicines as well as alchemy, which I don't know the depths of alchemy yet. I'm gonna have to look that up, but that's like potion making. That could be cool. There's construction, which is all about terraforming land, moving dirt around, flattening land, building a village, basically, making actual straight up buildings. That's important. And lastly is like cooking and tailoring. That's where you learn how to farm, you learn how to cook, and you learn how to tailor clothing so that we can have something nice to wear. So these are all very diverse trees and very, very cool. I think this game is really awesome so far and has a lot of potential. If you don't know what it is, I recommend you go look up some gameplay or something, because my explanation might not be very good, but it's a first person, although you can go third person, MMO-ish RPG, where you go into a server or you create a server, and you're in a medieval-ish technology island. And on that island, there is wildlife, there's water, trees of all different sorts. And you start off knowing basically nothing. You have your default skills that you put your skill points in when you created your character. And character creation is pretty basic so far, but they're still working on that. And you pick what you want to work on, basically. Do you want to work on your woodworking, your metalworking, your herbology? And you can work on everything, but there are skill caps at a certain point, so you kind of want to tunnel vision a little bit. And the idea is that you just plan a server with a bunch of people, and you'll start making your villages and start doing whatever you want. Some people might become bandits, and some people might become blacksmiths. You can learn different kinds of combat. You can make different kind of forms of government. You can make guilds. It's really interesting, actually. It's got the same kind of appeal in a certain way as Haven and Hearth, actually. A lot when I started playing this game reminded me of Haven and Hearth. But because it's on a smaller scale server-based thing, right now servers cannot hold more than 64 people, although they plan to make a version of the game that's like a 100,000 grand server MMO thing. And you walk around and start to gain your skill by snap a branch off a tree. You just got some forestry skill. Inspect trees to see the quality. Use the branches to make primitive tools. Scavenge on the ground for plant fibers to use to bind some flint to your stick and make yourself an axe. Chop down a softwood tree. If your lumbering gets high enough, you can learn how to chop down a hardwood tree. And it's got a real sense of progression and accomplishment to it where it's really grindy, yeah, especially if you play it on your own. It really is meant to be played with other people to help share the manual labor. And because, very diverse skill sets that often come together. Let's say you want to make a good fishing rod, not just a primitive stick with a plant fiber string. If you want to make a proper fishing rod, you're going to need some, I think it's softwood billets, which would require someone good enough in woodworking that they can chop down a decent tree and saw it up and get some good quality wood out of that. And then you need, I believe it's silk thread, or is it linen? I think it's linen thread, which is high up in farming, because farming leads to cooking and tailoring, because when you're into the farming and agriculture route, that's all about working with the land as well as, to a degree, working with animals. So they would tend to have the linens because of the farming and the animal husbandry. But you understand what I mean. There are also skills that are not tied to those. For instance, hunting and fishing is tied to everyone. Everyone can learn that. It's not tied to any individual skill. Although it does come out of your other crafting skills, you'll understand it more when you play the game. But there's combat skills, crafting skills, and other skills, and each one of them you can have a combined amount of 600 points between each page of them. So having a ton of combat skills would not limit you in your crafting skills at all. You can focus on whatever kind of combat you want, and there are many different kinds. One-handed blades, two-handed blades. I think there might be one for blunt, there's one for throwing weapons, there's learning archery and ranged in general of crossbows and bows. You got to be able to make crossbows and bows. It's just a really, really cool idea for a game. I've been having a lot of fun with it. I've been playing on my own, which is really grindy, and I've still put like 20 hours into the game this week. So, yeah, I would love to play that with you guys. So what I'm looking for right now is I'm looking for 5 of you out there who'd be interested, and preferably if you have the game, maybe a little bit of experience with the game, but you don't necessarily have to. I need 5 of you, and we can work out which one of you want to be woodworking, metalworking, herbology, construction, and cooking and tailoring. Who wants to be what? I'll pick up the slack on whatever we seem to be lacking the most, or just kind of whatever. I might go a little bit jack of all trades, which is probably not terribly good for the character. However, it'll be good for the show, that I can do a little bit of everything. So I need 5 of you. Each one of you can pick a crafting skill that you want to go into. You can pick whatever you want for every other skill. It's completely up to you. And of course, you can go into other skills as much as you'd like, as long as you leave enough that you can focus on that one skill that we really need you to do for the sake of our village. Hopefully, after we have things set up a little bit, we'll be able to open up that server and let the entire community use it as much as they'd like. We could do streams, maybe even weekly or monthly, bi-weekly, whatever people seem to want, videos on the ongoings of the server and everything, and I think that would be a lot of fun. Of course, it's kind of up in the air depending on, how long my mom is out of the house. Right now, the cats happen to be asleep, so it's particularly quiet here right now, and we still need to get a curtain, which will be nice. But I'm starting to get to the point in settling down in this apartment when I can stream probably once a week, maybe. So yeah, we could do something there. I think that'd be a lot of fun. If you want to contact me about this and you think that you'd be interested in doing this, the best way to do it would probably be in the description of this video. You'll see a link to my forum, make an account on my forum and send me an inbox message. I'm not hard to find. I'm the only admin on there, so my name's in purple. Send me a message there, because sometimes when people inbox me on YouTube, it'll for some reason think it's spam and I won't get notified for it. If you send me the message on the forum, then I'll for sure be able to read it and I'll get an email right away letting me know and everything. So I'm always up to date on stuff on the forum. If you want to just talk about this game with the community, go to the computer gaming section of the forum, and you can talk there with whoever, maybe share ideas and stuff like that. That's always a good idea. Ever since I made that Haven and Hearth topic that people started talking on, the computer gaming section of the forums has been a lot more active. I really, really like keeping up with the Haven and Hearth thread, so I think I'd have a lot of fun keeping up with the Life is Feudal thread. Sorry, I almost called it Life is Strange. No, that's a very different game. If you don't have the game and you just looked it up or you heard my description and you thought that's something up your alley, the game is like $45 on Steam right now, at least in Canadian money. It's probably like 40 American or something. If you want to get it on a discount, though, the description of this video will have a link to the game on G2A, which I think G2A has a global key of it for like €18 right now, which... Or no, it was €16. What's that in American dollars? Like $18? Something like $18 American, which is much cheaper because, and that's a Steam key. When you buy it on there, they give you it on Steam. Just make sure that if you're buying it on G2A, just make sure that you're buying a global key, which I think they only sell global keys for that game. You just want to make sure that you get it for whatever your region is, or global is okay for every single region, just to make sure that you get the game of the copy of the game that you're looking for, and they'll send you the key for it to put into Steam. But yeah, if you think you're interested in that, pick up the game, try it out a little bit, see if you like it, and if you like it, send me a message over on the forum, and we can talk about maybe getting us all in this game, and we can just play. I think it'll be a lot of fun. So thank you everybody for watching, and until next time, have a nice day.